confirmation. All right, let's see. Welcome to the channel. Gonna jump under the headset. Gonna set up the Move VR. Put the chat inside the headset. We are situated at Nantucket. We're gonna do a little bit of pattern work. Time permits. Maybe even do a little departure. Maybe do a north departure. Go to Martha's Vineyard. I've got a little pilot to ATC going here, so I may have to take a quick look at some of my frequencies once we kind of get going. Once I find my touch controller, there we go. Here I am. Let's get myself centered.
Nantucket MEM Information Golf.
Information Golf.
1800 Zulu weather. Wind 040 at 1 2. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions indefinite view. 7,000 broken. 11,000 overcast. Temperature 27. Dew point 11. Altimeter 3020. Arriving runways 0633. Departing runways 0633. Advise on initial
06 and 33. All right, see if I can get this thing fully adjusted, and I think I'm going to go with both earbuds. I have trying to divide up the
Nantucket MEM Information Golf.
different sounds. So I have the ATC and the earbuds.
040 at 1 2. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions indefinite view. 7,000 broken. 11,000 overcast. Temperature 27. Dew point 11. Altimeter 3020. Arriving runways 0633. Departing runways 0633. Advise on initial contact. You have golf.
33 is over here, 6 is over there. Information Golf. I didn't get the altimeter.
Information Golf. 1500 Zulu weather. Wind 040 at 12. Visibility
Ooh,
more
gusty.
than 10. Sky conditions indefinite view. 7,000 broken. 11,000 overcast. Temperature 27. Dew point 11. Altimeter 3020. Arriving runways 0633. Departing runways 0633. Advise on initial contact.
All right, we got that. Around 132.5. All right, get this thing started up here. A little bit of prime. Don't think that really matters. Clear prop. Oops. A little late. That's all right. There's nobody around us here today. All right, I like some of that. It's a little loud in my ears. All right, so I'm going to try to take down these directions for my taxi instructions. Cessna, November 212 Bravo, ready to taxi. Well, that's about as short of a taxi as you can get. So we are up here on the map. Boop. We're gonna go right there, 1-5. So pretty much we're gonna, if we could cut across the grass, that's our runway. Looks like we're gonna have a left crosswind. I don't know why they didn't give us 6. So I'm gonna check that. Wow, that got loud. Weather. NOAA weather. All right. As I like to say, it is what it is. Lean the mixture a tiny bit. So we are in the NhArdian mod. We are in version 4.00. Don't know if you noticed earlier, but World Traffic 3 was in. Alright, hang on one second. I think somebody just jumped into the channel here. Where would I see that? Park and brake. Config. If I can change that to Cessna. Might be too late for this trip. Config. Minimize. All right. Cessna 1-2 Bravo holding short runway 15.
Cessna 1-2 Bravo, winds are 040 at 11 knots, altimeter 3020, cleared for takeoff. Runway 15 squawk 1200. Cleared for takeoff. Runway 15 squawking 1200, Cessna 1-2 Bravo.
Cessna 1-2 Bravo to remain in pattern. Let's see if it'll get that. Cessna 1-2 Bravo ready for departure to remain in pattern.
Cessna 1-2 Bravo, winds are 040 at 11 knots, cleared for takeoff. Runway 15 fly a left-hand pattern.
Left-hand pattern.
On runway 15 remain on this frequency. Cleared for takeoff. Runway 15 fly a left-hand pattern for touch and goes. Runway 15 will stay with you, Cessna 1-2 Bravo.
Certainly seems like the weather is favoring runway 6. Yikes. Easy, easy, easy. It's going to be for some interesting some interesting landings. Certainly got a lot of crosswind. Gotta turn one thing up. That's up. Whoa. That's a pretty strong crosswind. Okay. A little bit more. And about 1,000 feet. A little reduction in power. 2,200, 2,100. Alright, there's our runway at 1,000. A little high in the altitude. Bring it down. It's going to be a quick base to final, I tell you. No World Traffic 3 doing its thing. Alright, just about at the arc here. We're gonna. I don't remember all these buildings here. This must be some newer auto-gen. Extended runway. Yeah, I can just loop around that white thing there. We should be pretty close. Yeah, just gotta keep going. 1-2 Bravo. Turning final. 1-5 touch and go. Clear touch and go. Phew. Definitely need some flaps. Definitely going to need a huge amount of correction here. Hit that center line without getting killed here. Way more right rudder. Full right rudder. Full level. Bring down. Gain control of the aircraft. Throw in some crosswind correction. Try to get centered. Whoa. Shoo. It's gonna test everything here. Did not like that ground handling. Tricky getting a feel on that. If you're lurking in the chat, you can say hello. I don't get alerts when people come in and out of the channel, so if you did a follow or anything like that, I appreciate it. Nose a little high, still holding runway heading. Losing my touch controller. I can't stand the touch controller when it does that. I wish the touch controllers would disappear a little bit quicker. And turning crosswind. Gonna make these nice and sharp this time. And coming up on 1.5, roll out. At pattern altitude. Top edge of that right side of the column on the horizon. Definitely keeps me level. And coming up on 1.5, roll out. Pretty close. And for my field of view, about 50% of the windshield with the horizon, so about halfway up is where I see level flight. There's some world traffic departing runway 15. Or just landed, I couldn't tell. Landing and staying there. And they're gone. That wind is pushing me. Here comes somebody coming in. Kind of wish I had the other runway, but you know, trying to figure out how the weather interacts with world traffic. Cessna 12 Bravo turning final, runway 15, touch and go. Cessna 12 Bravo turning final, runway 15, touch and go. Cleared for the option 15. Gonna go a little bit long this time. A little high on the airspeed. Bleed some off here. The nose is nice and straight. Right over, left wing down. Oh, this is looking much better than last time. Little flare. Nice. Keep foot forward. I think you are seeing what I should be seeing. Welcome to the channel, Al. Good to see you again. Is there something wrong with it? Yeah. Yeah, it looks like you're seeing what I'm seeing. Sorry, there's a lot of concentration on that landing. Yeah, the way I get that is through the Oculus, the toolkit. It's called Oculus Mirror. It mirrors what you see in the headset. If you don't do that while you're streaming, you usually see the out of one eye, and it's just like a vertical. So I got a 12 knot wind. This Cessna 152 puts the fun in flying. There we are down there. So the only thing that this is, let me show you the, grab my touch controller here. The screens that come with the plane, this is the standard X-Pad. This comes with everybody, with every aircraft that's by Laminar. This screen up here is made by, made for the NhArdian mod. And this is actually displaying Avitab. So I can display Avitab through a screen like this, or I can display it like this. So if I'm in another aircraft, I can run Avitab side by side. So what the NhArdian mod does, it has put Avitab in the display. Also in this mod, there's also, I don't have it turned on, of course. They have their own moving map program, which I haven't fully figured out how to make moving maps for the United States. So this is included with the mod. It doesn't come in with the 152. But from what I've read, the mod has been released to developers, and so it is starting to appear in more aircraft. I know it's now in the Robin, that new freeware, and I think it's in a helicopter. So they're, people are starting to incorporate the Avitab iPad into stuff. So in the Avitab iPad, not only do I have my chart, but I also have the map. There's my mark here, holding my altitude. So this is the Carenado 152. It's $24.99 on the org, and then the mod is on the also on the org, not the payware part, but the download part. And this is version 4.00. The next version of this mod is going to have a heads-up display where you're going to be able to see stuff projected. It's going to have all your vital statistics projected onto your windshield. And it's also going to have moving engine parts, which is going to be super exciting. Just to see kind of a fully working parts of the engine. Up high again. Better kill some throttle. Got a lot of crab. I'm kicking in almost full right rudder. Got a lot of speed. More right rudder. Yeah, look at that rudder down there. More. Trying to split that center line. Land on that left wheel first. 1, 2. Gain control. Flaps up. Confirmed. Center line. Increase throttle. I forgot to call turning final that time. My bad. Pilot the ATC didn't yell at me. Ah, hey Mom, welcome to the channel. Alright, this time I'll see if I can get my calls for turning final correct. Coming up on 300 feet before pattern altitude. You can buy another headset, and you can, I believe, connect 2 headsets and watch. And crosswind leg complete. Nobody. Oh, we got somebody coming down in the landing there. Nice. Approaching pattern altitude. Reduce throttle. Level off. And turning downwind, which is kind of crosswind. Rolling out. Somebody's departing run 5-2. Nice. No, my mom's not a pilot. She could practice. The headset's at the house here, so if she wanted to practice, she could. So World Traffic 3 doesn't fully complete its landing and taxiing because there's no taxiways for this airport. So they come in to land, but then they kind of disappear. Some places they land and then they stack up on the runway. The beam of the numbers. Going a little fast here. First notch of flaps. Hold that nose. Slow down the aircraft a little bit. Yeah, I'm a little bit better too. I think we all kind of start flying through trees at one point in our learning process. Alright, here we go. Good airspeed. Probably a little slow for this amount of wind. 12 Bravo, turning final, touch and go, runway 15. Clear, touch and go. Where is it? There we go. I can almost feel the wind pushing me wide of the runway. Get myself lined up. Alright, here goes that right rudder. Gonna start to straighten that out. Pulling a lot of power out of this thing. Yeah, there's some of the soft, yeah. Hey, someday that's all going to be kind of behind us. And we'll say, hey, remember the old days when the software would draw trees in the middle of everything? As we get smarter and these things get better, developers are getting more picky. Oh, this one's looking good too. Don't screw it up, don't screw it up. Flare looking down the end of the runway, left wheel. Right wheel, nice. Flaps up, confirmed. Throttle. Oh, we're just gonna make this one. Cessna 12 Bravo, request right turnout. All right. Alright, we've got permission for a right turnout. Let's go fly somewhere. Follow the island here. Probably a little low for a turnout yet. That's alright. Climbing out, lights are on. Ooh. Missed something in the checklist there. Let's see what I have in my for runways here, for charts. So this is where I'm going a little off script. I don't actually have directions, VORs, or anything to another airport. I don't know if I could find them in this program. Let me see if I get... Yeah, it's the NhArdian iPad, but the program I can probably duplicate it with the program called Avitab. So the designer of the mod, NhArdian, Adrian, so his name's Adrian, um, has done all these cool features. Rather than a 152 with this kind of stuff, it's got almost an unlimited configuration. I can show you configuration in a second. But here's the big version of Avitab. So the big version, of course, is way more sizable and easier to read. But in a Cessna 152, this is probably big enough. So yeah, this is and you can toggle this on and off. I don't have a hotkey. So right there, Avitab, toggle off. So we can turn that off. So it isn't an iPad, virtual iPad. So it's not. I don't own an iPad in the aircraft. So let me jump out of here, and I can show you a couple of the mod configurations. So see, there's no. This is kind of traditional 152. No autopilot. So if we go into the mod, I can put on where's the other one? It's hidden behind right there. So now I just modded it. So now we have a full. Okay, am I back yet? I should be back. Looks like I'm back. Make sure. Yeah, okay. Whoa. Looking all around here. So now with the NhArdian mod, I have a fully like modern GPS configuration and autopilot. So I have the full avionics suite inside of here. You notice over here on the directional gyro, I now have the heading bug. So now I can fly with autopilot. I can do my altitude hold here. I can rotate the heading bug. I want to go a little bit more to the north. Select heading mode. Now the aircraft's going to control itself. I'm out of the pattern, so I can turn off my landing light. 2200 RPM. So that's one of the configurations. I think I can just use Garmin 430. Yep, so that puts the traditional avionics back in and just leaves me with the Garmin 430 and the autopilot. I can turn the wheel fairings on and off. So kind of like that cool view. That's part of the mod. And then he's got his custom NhArdian iPad. So this iPad is a little bit different. This is by NhArdian, and you can actually put certain charts in here, but I haven't figured it out yet. So I'm getting errors with this one. There is a guide, but it references a European set of maps that you can I think you can just import. But there is a way to import other maps. So there's two variations of the iPad in this mod. So for me, this is one of the best $25 you could spend for versatility in an aircraft. Yeah, it's a 152. It's slow. They got the flight model, I think, dialed in really well. At least that's what 152 pilots say. Okay, let me see. I'll go back. This is the iPad. Let me see. I think I can turn the iPad off. Okay, so this plane comes with super. This is probably the stock Cessna 152 by Carenado. So Adrian has made these cool mods. Let's see if there's one in here. Yeah, so one of the cool mods he made are these. He's put GoPros in and around the aircraft. So you got GoPro behind you, GoPro in front of you, out the wings, out the left wing, and on the tail. And if you're in 2D, you click on the GoPros and it jumps you right to those views. So you have pre-programmed GoPro views, and those reside in the glove box. So the other things that he does, he's got the avionics in the iPad. So he's got the iPad 1, which is AviTab, which is a smaller version or an iPad version of AviTab. And that has moving maps. It has the ability to search for airports. And then he's got another version of the iPad. It's his NhArdian iPad, and this can have more comprehensive maps, and it displays some different information that I haven't taken the time to really learn with the documentation. Some of it's referenced for like European maps. I should probably do that as a demo. Put those maps in there. So I'm going to go back to the AviTab version. And I'm going to add the GPS 530. And we can even have the GPS 430, so you can have two GPSs. So the next step on his mod schedule is going to have actual moving engine parts. You'll be able to see parts of the engine moving, and he's going to have a heads-up display, which is probably going to display airspeed, altitude, direction. It's kind of fun. Don't know if it's it's kind of fictitious and fun. Now, in VR, some of the coolest things that I think that he's done is this. Full checklist. No mess, no fuss. Page back. So he's got his own full checklist that automatically jumps into VR. You don't have to use Move VR or anything. So we're just going to go forward. And so you can read everything as you're going through. Before starting, taxi. It's got your short field, soft field, climbing. It has your V speeds. Cruise checklist, descent checklist. So, full checklist, emergency checklist. Super cool. And then you just point back up here and presto, done. Hide your checklist. Over on this side, he's got the aircraft specification sheets. It's got, wing length, height, horsepower. I can get. And actually on the back, I think it's got a blank place to create your own livery information. So I think in the within the file, there's a place for a blank one of these. Let's see, how do I move this? It's just going to keep flipping. So, I don't know if you can read that. Shows fuel capacity, weights, climbing rates, all the different speeds. And again, that you just go, tucks away beautifully. I'm going to try to find my airport here. I'm going to use the GPS while it's open. And instead of the heading mode, now I'm going to use the nav mode. Switch it to GPS. We're going to bank left. So I got a little bit further north than I did. You know, I haven't used the mouse that much. Let me I don't know if I can. Let me take a look. I'll activate the mouse and see how it manipulates. Yeah, it looks like I'm able to click through on everything with the mouse. It's a little bit jumpy. Probably the best way to describe it. Like, your movements have to be... it lets me turn the iPad on. It's not letting me mouse into the menus. But it looks like it has full system control in here. So it looks like the mouse won't let you do that. Yeah, it looks like you can grab the supplements and the checklist. That is fully, yeah, this is fully mouse compatible. Good question. Hadn't thought about it, hadn't tried it. I know these in 2D will jump you into those views. But yeah. Yeah, no, not in. It doesn't look like you're gonna with the GPS, the iPad. Doesn't look like it's mouse supported. Though the way he does updates, I wouldn't be surprised if it's possible. I'm sure he'd certainly probably take a look at it. So yeah, I'm not sure what the technical reason is why it just doesn't automatically do that with the mouse, or if it's something that has to be like really fully configured. So I can move it that screen. I can move the X-Pad and operate the X-Pad. Yeah, I would call them mostly VR add-ons. Some of the other cool things that he's done with this aircraft. You can put the seats down. I don't know if I can open these up. But he's always got like little things, just trying to ramp up the realism and the level of detail. But yeah, mostly, um, I think it's like you said, it's a VR compatibility, kind of perfecting that. If I can disable 2D, but I don't know if that's going to, or disable 3D, but I don't know if that's going to. I think my display will go away because I don't have screen capture on. But when I'm done with this, I'll check and see if in 2D I can do move this stuff with the mouse. I can report back next stream. Let's see if I can. I'm gonna land here. I don't have that much time. Airports. Okay. Thanks for stopping by, Ruby Slippers. Why did it do that? This is where this thing freaks out a little bit. Cessna 12 Bravo, cancel flight following. Thank you, 12 Bravo. Martha's Vineyard Tower, Cessna November 212 Bravo at 3,200. Alright. Yeah, this is freeware stuff. This is all, well, I think it's donationware, but basically freeware. I think Adrian, he's in Hungary, I believe, and that's why we have this kind of cool Hungarian livery. HAJON. It's got the Hungarian colors on it. I'm trying to find my airport. It's got to be right underneath me. Yeah, there it is. Cessna 12 Bravo at 3000 inbound for full stop landing.
Cessna Squawk 1200, Cessna 12 Bravo.
121.5 tower. Cessna 12 Bravo inbound for full stop landing at 3000.
Aircraft calling approach, say again for call sign.
12 Bravo at 3000 inbound for full stop landing. I'm using a pilot to ATC. That's why it's acting goofy. I thought once I got that frequency change approved, it would. Yeah, see, it's still trying to. It's still trying to direct me back to the starting point.
Tower Cessna 12 Bravo descending to.
So we're just gonna land. I don't know if we can 126.25. We'll just go old school here. 126.25. Try to find the wind.
Martha's Vineyard Information Hotel. 1600 Zulu weather. Wind 060 at 11. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions indefinite view. 7000 overcast. Temperature 2.6. Altimeter 3019. Arriving runway 15. Departing runway 15. Advise on initial contact you have hotel.
So wind's coming from that direction. This is the runway we want right here.
Martha's Vineyard Information Hotel. 1600
It's on the wrong side of the
Wind 070 at 10. Visibility more than 10.
wrong side of the airport.
Sky conditions indefinite.
Yeah, this is software air traffic control.
Temperature 2.7.
You speak to it, it
Altimeter
runs in the background or in the foreground. You can actually have it has a whole interface that you can use. Once you kind of know the commands, you can kind of get away from needing the interface. I use it a lot for the general aviation trips because I fly mostly
Hotel. 1600
into smaller airports because
070 at 10.
trying to write down
10.
some of the IFR clearances
7000 overcast. Temperature
becomes really tricky.
2.7. Altimeter 3019. Arriving runway 15. Departing runway 15. Advise on initial contact you have hotel.
Let's see which one that is. Looks like a 6. Yeah, there's a free 10-day trial of Pilot to ATC. It takes up a lot of screen real estate, or it can take up a lot of screen real estate. So I recommend using 2 monitors with it.
Sky conditions indefinite view. 7000
And I don't know if you've noticed some of the background chatter. Those are chatter files that you can create, or you can download them from the .org.
Departing runway 15. Advise on initial
So you can kind of create custom chatter files for each airport that you regularly fly in and out of.
Martha's Vineyard Information Hotel. 1600 Zulu weather. Wind 080 at 10. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions indefinite view. 7000 overcast. Temperature
It's going to be just a quick base to final here. Yeah, so the software is Pilot, the number 2, ATC. Been using it for a year or so. I'm pretty good at flying from like Delta class to Delta class. But as you can see, it kind of freaks out a little bit, and then you just kind of ignore it. Oof, little hesitation there. Big hesitation there. Oof. It was like a total scenery, not just even like a redraw, but like a rebuild. A little short, that's alright. Okay, so there's some of the background chatter. Get my touch controller out of the way here. Ooh, big weather redraw right there. So I definitely feel like I'm weather vaning to the right. So I'm going to drop the right wing. It doesn't feel nearly as strong as it did at the other airport on the crosswinds. Looking for a flag. I don't see one. Floating, floating, floating. Come on. Whew. Welcome to Martha's Vineyard. This room's about 1,000 degrees. I'm sweating all over the place. Probably could have picked the other runway. It was 080. So right there. I think I got a pretty good call on that. Park this thing. Yeah, the also one note about the Pilot to ATC has excellent support on AVSIM. That's their official support forum, and the developer is always willing to, he answers most of the questions directly on there. All right, so we had a bunch of questions. I'm going to take a quick look in 2D before I run. Let's see, put the brakes on, clear this thing up here. Should have threw the landing light on. Parking brake on. Flaps up. Forgot the pre-landing checklist. Okay. All that talking. Idle. Let's see, I'm going to shut the avionics off off. All right, so I'm just going to take a quick look and see if I'm looking right at Brain Fade. The iPad has mouse support for it. So if I lose my OBS feed, you'll know why. If you don't see anything, it's because I don't have a little page for it. You know, it's not set up for 2D anymore. So let me get back here. Good. Back into X-Plane. Disable VR. Might have to, it looks like I have to disable mouse support first. Flight config. Custom. VR. Disable. I think someone reported that the mouse support kind of broke something in one of the latest versions. It's kind of a little bit jumpier or something, but I typically don't use mouse support. Alright, so now if you can hear me, I'm in 2D. Trying to get over to the, oh, I think if I do this, I don't even know what that did. Shift 9, square myself up, Shift 9, get myself back into here. Huh, it's not letting me scroll. Just gonna roll forward here on. So yeah, Al, if you're still listening in the chat, it is 2D mouse supported, not 3D mouse supported. I think that kind of gets you to the question that you want. So yeah, if you're going to fly this, I'll put a link in the YouTube notes. I should be able to do that. But I just want to say, hey, Squawking1200 says thank you to everyone that took time out of their day to stop by the channel. Enjoy your evening, mornings, and afternoons, depending on what part of the planet you're in. And we will see you guys on the next one.